pretty much the entire island is sitting in extreme fire danger. So the one thing with the island is that they don't really see the lightning that the rest of the province sees. However, all it takes is some sort of ignition to start a fire. So whether it be a lightning strike naturally or some other source of heat, as we just talked about, it can happen anywhere that you are. So pretty much anywhere in the province is not immune to the fire risk at this point.
Kim mentioned too, of course, that it being a long weekend, there's a lot of people traveling to and from, so this is for anybody, anywhere traveling. And I guess for those that are traveling, if they spot something out there, smoke or whatever, they're encouraged to call and to get a hold of the proper people to address that. What is that number to call?
If you're on a cell phone, and most carriers, I think, handle this number, star 5555 is the number to call from your cell phone. If you're at a landline or if your cell phone does not take that number, then there's a toll-free number you can call to report. It's 1-800-663-5555. Both of those numbers will get you through to the Provincial Forest Fire Reporting Center. And so if you see smoke or flame or are concerned that you might be spotting a fire, those are the numbers to call.
Kim Steinbart, she's a Provincial Fire Information Officer. Terrific information, and boy, I hope you get a day off and some rest too. I know you're very busy.
Thank you very much.
All right, Kim, thanks so much. It's 8:28 here at CFAX 1070. So what went down? Was it a second trial for Robert Pickton or not? We have the latest information and reaction coming up next with our CFAX 1070 news in 2 minutes.
After 3 generations, Sawyer Sewing Center is the largest sewing store on Vancouver Island.
We carry the top brands in sewing and embroidery, such as Bernina, Fab, Babylock, Janome, and Elma. At Sawyer Sewing Center, we know everything about sewing, embroidery, quilting, and the accessories needed. Our knowledgeable staff will provide you with the best product and excellent service. You'll also receive free unlimited lessons on any machine you buy.
Sawyer Sewing Center.
Active Bobcat and Trucking points out that the August-long weekend is a time when many people travel to visit friends and family. If you're going out of town or visiting neighbors just a few blocks away, please drive with care and caution. Give yourself plenty of time to reach your destination safely and never drink and drive. By driving defensively, we can make this holiday weekend a safe and enjoyable time for all. A message from Active Bobcat and Trucking, where safety is always in season. Call 598-3222.
Volkswagen won more awards this year than ever before. 17 and counting for our Autobahn-ready performance and our German-engineered safety. Of course, winning awards isn't new for us. Winning this many is. Come and discover your own award winner during Volksfest. With 0.9% APR up to 66 months on all 2010 Tiguan models.
If you're quitting, try the Nicorette inhaler. It's the closest thing to smoking without smoking.
Back pain. It can make everything you do virtually impossible. That's when you want new Tylenol Back Pain. A muscle relaxant plus effective pain relief in one pill. Tylenol Back Pain. Get back to normal, whatever your normal is.
This is Victoria's News Authority, CFAX 1070.
Good morning on Friday, July 30th. I'm Al Ferraby. We still see a little bit of those fog patches around the capital region. It is sunny today and a high of 23, and our current temperature in downtown Victoria, 13 degrees. In Saanich, it's 12. CFAX 1070 News begins right now. Here's Ryan Price.
Good morning, Al. The Supreme Court of Canada this morning rejected serial killer Robert Pickton's bid for a new trial.
Robert Pickton was convicted in December 2007 for the murders of 6 Vancouver women. He appealed his conviction on the grounds that the trial judge erred in amending his instructions to the jury. But today, the country's top court rejected that argument. The Crown successfully argued that if there had been a mistake, it wasn't serious enough to overturn Pickton's right to a new trial. Pickton is also facing charges for the murders of 20 other women, but that trial was put off pending the Supreme Court's decision. The top court ruling means it's likely the 20 charges will be stayed. Marie Brewster, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Now that the end of the road for Robert Pickton's court time, public inquiry talk is beginning. Vancouver East MP Libby Davies says it is time to hold an inquiry into the disappearance of women from the downtown east side and into the police investigation into Robert Picton.
Primarily it needs to focus on the policing, but of course there are other issues involved, and I think when you get into an inquiry, these questions can be asked and they can be brought forward, so it's not for me to spell out the scope of that. I think that's for others to do.
Davies says there are still many questions about the policing in the early days when sex trade workers were disappearing from the downtown east side Vancouver streets, and nobody seemed to pay any attention. The province announced this morning that they are protecting almost 1,600 hectares of coastal Douglas fir habitat on Vancouver Island, protecting it from logging and other resource activity. Most of the Crown land in question is between Courtenay and Nanaimo. It brings the total amount of protected coastal Douglas fir habitat to just over 9,000 hectares in BC. The province says the coast Douglas fir ecosystem is ranked globally as a high priority for preservation. It's home to 29 endangered plant communities. However, in a prepared statement this morning, Forests Minister Pat Bell says the majority of this ecosystem is in private or municipal lands, and the area protected is just the Crown lands that they control. Despite some problems with dropped calls in the U.S., people brought camping chairs, blankets, and pillows to wait overnight outside Apple stores across Canada to buy the new iPhone 4 this morning. One customer in one lineup said the signal problem with the phone is no big deal and was blown out of proportion. This person lined up outside of Granville Street Apple store in Vancouver says the iPhone is more than a phone.
I think it's a phone least of all. For me, it's communicating with people and connecting with people.
I think there's definitely a little bit of competition as far as if you get the phone first, you have sort of a bragging right. But at the same time, I think the phone is also worth it as far as the device itself.
You might say, dude, it's just a phone, but dude, it's the iPhone.
Some people were lined up for about 20 hours in front of Apple stores, waiting for their chance to be among the first in Canada to get their hands on one. An accidental discovery along the eroding Bay of Fundy shoreline in New Brunswick is giving some scientists insight into the evolution of life on Earth.
Scientists have discovered 318 million-year-old reptile footprints near St. Martin's, New Brunswick, and say it shows reptiles were the first animals with a backbone to move inland away from the swampy coasts. Footprints were discovered by Howard Falcon Lang of Royal Holloway, University of London in 2008, but a study is only being published now. He says it's a key event in understanding the ancestors of dinosaurs and humans.
These are the oldest trackways that we have of reptiles, so a very significant event in the history of life.
He was actually looking for other fossils when he tripped over a rock and discovered the footprints. Kevin Bissett, The Canadian Press, Fredericton.
CFAX News Time is 8:35.
Active Bobcat and Trucking points out that the August-long weekend is a time when many people travel to visit friends and family. If you're going out of town or visiting neighbors just a few blocks away, please drive with care and caution. Give yourself plenty of time to reach your destination safely and never drink and drive. By driving defensively, we can make this holiday weekend a safe and enjoyable time for all. A message from Active Bobcat and Trucking, where safety is always in season. Call 598-3222.
Maybe there's a chance that if I dance with you tomorrow, you'll be more than just a friend. We'll end up sitting in a tree. But when you make those eyes at me, my heart goes up a size or 3, and some far off July we'll see us married by the sea. Let's do more time. Maybe you'll be mine.
We did not get a correct answer to our Newsmaker of the Hour contest question, so after 9, the prize was up to $412. Brought to you by Rand Automotive at 450 Beta Street. I'm Ryan Price. If it's happening, it's here. Victoria's News Authority, CFAX 1070.
PC Lions on CFAX 1070 tonight. We'll talk about that and a number of local items, too, with sports and Liz MacArthur coming up in a moment. Good morning, I'm Al Ferraby, and the latest CFAX 1070 weather forecast. It's more of the same, although we have a few more fog patches or low cloud around early this morning, but we can still see some remnants of that in the capital region and parts of the islands. Will be sunny by the late morning hours if it's not already, and we will get sunshine this afternoon with a high of 23 degrees. That wind comes in off the Strait of Juan de Fuca late this afternoon, and that could mean up to 30-knot winds for those that are either boating or around Juan de Fuca Strait for the late part of the day, easing up overnight. And we're going to see a similar start to the day tomorrow, so don't be surprised if you see those fog patches or clouds to start off Saturday. Saturday for the bulk of the day, sun and cloud, and a high of 22. Now, the latest forecast for Sunday, and that's Symphony Splash Day. Sun and cloud will be the forecast for the high of 22 degrees, so comfortable for everybody. Not too hot, not too cold, not too rainy, not too windy. Monday's forecast looks good with sunshine for the Capital Festival BC Day celebrations. They're taking place at St. Anne's and in Langford, and more sunshine Tuesday right through Thursday. Downtown Victoria right now, it is 13 degrees. That's CFAX 1070 weather. It's now 8:37 at CFAX 1070. Through the weekend, plenty of sports this morning. Here's Liz MacArthur.
Good morning. The Shamrocks play their last game of the season tonight at Bear Mountain Arena. Coach Walt Christensen says the Shamrocks are working hard to change their game up a little bit and rebound at home tonight. He says there is a healthy rivalry between Victoria and Nanaimo Timbermen, who will be at the stadium tonight.
They don't like each other very much now, and a little bit of talk back and forth, and that's all good-spirited, and I think it's good for the fans to make for a more entertaining game and a more competitive series, no question.
The game starts at 7:45 at Bear Mountain Arena. There's a barbecue planned for earlier in the evening. That starts at 6 o'clock. Local football gets started this weekend with the Victoria Rebels home opener. The Rebels take on the Kamloops Broncos at Bear Mountain Stadium tomorrow. Quarterback Travis Lulay will start in place of the injured Casey Printers when the BC Lions play the Edmonton Eskimos tonight in CFL action. Lulay says both teams are looking to snap losing skids.
You know, everybody here is a competitive guy, and it is tough, but I think that's what that does is just makes us that much hungrier to go out and win, because we don't like the losing feeling, and nobody wants that feeling again after this weekend. So obviously, you know, they're in the same boat. They're in the same boat as us. They don't like losing. From that standpoint, you know, we know they're going to come out and ready to play, but we got a lot of life for us too. You know, nobody wants to be in a real deep hole this early in the year.
The game starts at 6 o'clock tonight. You can catch the action live on CFAX 1070, pregame at 5:30. The Montreal Alouettes won their fourth straight, beating Toronto 41-10 last night. The win snapped the Argos' three-game winning streak and leaves Montreal alone atop the CFL East Division. And here at home, Victoria's Julia Wilkinson continues to record top times at the Summer National Swim Competition at Commonwealth Pool. Yesterday, she won the 50-meter backstroke and came second in the 100-meter freestyle. The men's and women's island swimming relay teams also did well. The men's team won the 200 freestyle relay, and the women's team came second in their side of the same event. In Major League Baseball, Paul Konerko homered for the fourth straight game to help the Chicago White Sox to a 9-5 win over the Seattle Mariners. Konerko says the Sox settled down after the Mariners took a 2-0 lead in the third inning.
Good to see him. The last two nights we got down and early and, you know, didn't panic. You know, both starters settled down and, you know, did what good starting pitchers do, and that's, you know, limit the damage and gave us a chance to come back and swing the bat.
It's the 11th straight win for the White Sox. Tonight, Sean Markham gets the start for the Blue Jays as they open a 3-game series at home to Cleveland. Markham is looking for his 10th win of the season. That's CFAX 1070 Sports.
Well, reaction to the Supreme Court's decision for a no to a second trial for Robert Pickton. We'll start to hear some of that, and we'll have some of that with a news update in 5 minutes' time. Traffic and weather, plus business news on the way next on CFAX 1070.
Simplify your life. Home entertainment made easy. Get connected at Atlas Audio Video Unlimited. Browse our huge selection of competitively priced HD TVs, world-class audio, and AV furniture. We can deliver and set up your purchase and recycle your old TV. And we have our own factory-authorized in-store service department. Life simplified at Atlas. Visit us at Gates of Vancouver. The 80s. pet walks, headbands, thriller jackets, and your kitchen was totally awesome. Now flash to the 21st century. Times have changed, and so should the look of your cabinets. Let the Island's own kitchen technician take you back to the future. Revitalize your look with new doors and panels, add moldings, light fixtures, and create new space for today's appliances. The kitchen technician can make it happen. Save money, the environment, and your self-respect. Call for your free consultation. The Kitchen Technician. Vancouver Island's kitchen facelift professionals.
Talk of the town. It's Mornings with Al Ferraby on CFAX 1070.
We're doing on the roads right now. Not bad at all, actually. BC Ferries, it's a busy spot and will be today. It's a possible one, so wait for the 9, but there still is a spot or two left. 93% full officially. Hourly sailings out of Swartz Bay going till